Welcome into the Crimson Tide Connection. Today I'm joined by Crimson Tide head soccer coach Todd Bramble. It's good to see you again.
Good to be here. Thanks, Molly.
Coming off a very successful weekend, you went 2-0, wins over Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Can you give us a quick recap about how this weekend played out?
Well, really, it couldn't have gone any better in a lot of ways. It was a history-making weekend, for our team. That was one thing that we had challenged them with before our Tennessee game, is knowing that Alabama had never won on that field, and I was really proud of how they responded to that game. And then we went down to Vanderbilt and put together another great defensive performance. And before we know it, we had come away with 2 wins on the weekend and hadn't conceded a goal. And I was really proud of the determination that the players showed.
You're in Knoxville on Friday night, your first SEC road win, your first conference win in overtime. I think we know overtime wins are pretty hard to come by.
Yeah.
What can you say about your team's ability to finish in those circumstances?
Well, that was a really, really hard-fought game, and the way the game was unfolding, it was neither team was really creating any chances in the run of play. So you kind of got the feeling that it was going to come down to a set piece, and I got to give some credit to Erwin Van Bennekom, our assistant coach. Going into that second overtime, he said, "Hey, let's make sure that we go forward off the kickoff here because you want to get momentum and territory." And my mind at that point was thinking about personnel. Do we need to make any changes? And so that gave us something really specific to focus on coming out of that break. So we just set up a little play for Merrill to get the ball deep into the corner, and Laura Lee to try to get on the end of it. And we had Molly positioned where if the Tennessee player was going to head the ball out, that she could pick up that loose ball, and we would just get the ball in a good position off the kickoff. And the play couldn't have gone any better. Merrill hit a perfect ball. Laura Lee had the the composure and the skill to bring it down. Molly was in position to make an overlap and run, and before we knew it, we were in behind, got a corner kick. And then, the rest of the story, was wonderful from there. Merrill played a great ball in. Maruska showed great timing and bravery, to get on the end of the cross. And it was a big dog pile on the field at that point, so it was a lot of fun.
Some program first this weekend. You're able to pick up the program's first ever victory in Knoxville. What can you say about where this program is at right now and how this team accomplished that?
Well, there's certain times where you might not want to tell a team that they had never won in Knoxville because the players might not be able to handle it, and they might think, well, if that's the case, we'll never win here. But this team seems to be different, and we felt it was important to share that information with them if they didn't already know it, and sort of put that challenge out there for them. And I think it was something that helped them and gave them a little bit of extra motivation and the determination that we needed on the night to get that first win in the history of the program.
You're in Nashville on Sunday night. You're able to get another victory against Vanderbilt, 1-0. That's the first time again in program history you've beaten the Commodores in back-to-back contests. How is this victory significant moving forward for your team?
Well, there's a lot of that information that I didn't even know until now. I didn't know that we had, won 2 consecutive games. I knew that they had a pretty wide margin in the overall, series record. But after that game in Knoxville, the preparation time between your Friday game and your Sunday game is a little different throughout the week. You don't have as much time. You don't really do too much on the field to prepare for your Sunday opponent. It's a lot more video work and just recovery. So, we weren't looking at making history in Nashville. Then it's just about, can we get some more points out of the weekend? We already had 3 points in the bag, and a lot of times coming out of a SEC weekend, if you feel like if you're coming home with 4 points, and certainly 6 points, it's wonderful. So we just wanted to come in against Vanderbilt, who's a good attacking team. They had some really dangerous players from an attacking standpoint. We wanted to just shut them down. We came up with a good game plan to limit the space that those players had to play in. We were, again, very good defending our set plays on that night, and scored a set play goal of our own with Merrill getting another good corner kick in for Jordan Meyer to get on the end of. And then we had to hang on there a little bit at the end, but our players really dug deep and did a great job.
So back-to-back road SEC shutouts, just the second time in program history that has happened. How do you feel about your team's success so far early on?
Well, I think early on is the key right there. I mean, nobody handed us a trophy when we left Nashville, Sunday night. So, while it's all fine and well that we won those 2 games, we haven't accomplished anything yet. And I think early on, also, and to me indicates, and the way I feel is we still have a lot of growth left in this team. We're not nearly where we want to be going through SEC play. So while we did a great job defending in these 2 games this past weekend, I think we could have done a better job in possession. We could have done a better job creating goal-scoring chances in the run of play. So, we're happy with what happened, but like you said, it's early on. We haven't accomplished anything yet, and we still have areas we need to continue to work to improve in as a team.
Some key players on the weekend: goalkeeper Emily Rusk, 2 shutouts, 11 total saves. She's named SEC Defensive Player of the Week. What has her play meant to this team?
Well, it's really, more from a leadership standpoint. She's shown a lot of growth in the last year. She has matured as a player. The communication that she's given our back line and our team in front of us is solving a lot of problems for us before they even arise in the game. Her composure back there and her presence is excellent. And, I'm happy that she got that honor, but we played great team defense this weekend, but Emily's doing a really good job for us right now.
Another veteran, Meryl Van Dongen, she's produced 6 points in her last 7 matches. Her play has been consistent. What can you say about her consistent production on such a high level?
Well, the thing I'm most happy about with Meryl right now is not only has she been consistently good enough from the start of the season, but with each passing weekend, she's hitting a new level. And she's really back to, the Meryl that we knew and loved before she got injured a year ago. And so I think right now she's just gaining a lot of self-confidence, which is something that's really important for her. Her determination is always going to be there, but when she's confident in what she's doing out there, her skill level and her ability really hits a new level. And both these games were perfectly suited for her because they were really grinded out type of intense competitive games. And that's the way all the games are going to be throughout the rest of the season now. So we anticipate Meryl to continue to be really good for us.
Another home weekend coming up. You face South Carolina and Ole Miss. We'll have a preview of those matches later in the week. But for now, we appreciate you being here again. For head coach Todd Bramble, I'm Molly Atherton, and that's it for this edition of Crimson Tide Connection.